warned you about this, not your doctor. Not anyone who ever sat across from you and told you to push through it, think positive, give it time. Nobody told you that the pain living in your chest, the tightness lodged in your shoulders, the exhaustion that follows you into sleep and greets you before you are fully awake, none of it is random. None of it is bad luck. None of it is simply the inevitable consequence of getting older or living harder than your body can sustain. What if the body you have been fighting, criticizing, medicating, ignoring, bargaining with has actually been trying to reach you this entire time? What if every symptom, every ache, every mysterious recurring illness is not your body breaking down, but your body breaking through desperately, faithfully, with extraordinary patience, attempting to hand you a message you have been refusing to read? This is not a comfortable proposition. The mind resists it immediately. Because accepting it means accepting something that requires more than a prescription or a diagnosis or the managed distance of treating the body as a mechanical system that occasionally malfunctions rather than as the living, intelligent, deeply personal record of everything you have experienced and everything you have never allowed yourself to fully feel. The body does not get sick by accident. This is the foundational truth that changes everything, not as a spiritual platitude. Not as an oversimplification that dismisses genuine medical reality, but as the specific, profound, increasingly supported recognition that the body keeps a record. Not of your victories, not of your achievements or your proudest moments or the life you have successfully curated for external presentation. The record the body keeps is of every emotion you were too afraid to feel, every truth you were too exhausted to speak, every wound you buried so completely that you stopped believing it was still there, still active, still alive, still shaping the cellular environment of the body you inhabit. And the same body that stored all of that pain can release it, not through surgery, not through silence, through something so simple and so forgotten that when you first encounter it, something in you will resist it completely. That resistance is exactly how you will know it is true. There is a pattern so consistent once you learn to see it, that it becomes impossible to unsee. Every physical symptom that emerges in the body has a traceable connection to specific emotional patterns that have been living in the concealed territories of the mind, the tension that took up residence in your jaw, the chronic tightness across your upper back, the digestive disruption that arrives predictably in certain emotional contexts, the fatigue that is not explained by your sleep or your activity level but correlates, with a precision that is disorienting once noticed, to the emotional weight you have been carrying. This is not metaphor, this is physiology. Your nervous system does not distinguish between a physical threat and an emotional one with the clarity that your conscious mind prefers to assume. Chronic emotional stress, the sustained, unprocessed, nowhere-to-go accumulation of feelings that were never allowed adequate expression, produces the same cascade of physiological responses as physical danger. Elevated stress hormones, sustained muscular tension, immune dysregulation, inflammatory responses that, maintained chronically rather than acutely, begin to express themselves in the specific personal, entirely individual way that, your body with its particular history and its particular vulnerabilities has learned to carry what your mind could not process. Your liver has been bearing anger that was swallowed rather than expressed. Your lungs have been sheltering grief that was concealed from everyone, including yourself. Your muscles have been clenching around fears that were never safe to confess. Your lower back has been carrying the specific weight of feeling unsupported financially, emotionally, existentially, in ways that the conscious mind managed while the body absorbed the full, unfiltered reality of what that unsupport actually cost. And your body has been waiting, with a patience that exceeds anything the conscious mind is capable of, waiting for you to finally, honestly, without the layers of rationalization and management that the mind uses to maintain the distance it finds more comfortable than the truth, actually hear what it has been trying to say. Here is the revolutionary understanding that transforms how you relate to your own physical experience. The symptom is not the enemy, it is the messenger. The specific, personal, precisely located communication of a body that has been ing in the only language available to it: sensation, pain, dysfunction, the somatic vocabulary of a system that cannot use words and therefore uses everything else. When you treat the symptom as something to be eliminated rather than something to be heard, you silence the messenger without receiving the message. The body, whose fundamental orientation is toward survival and toward wholeness, simply finds another way to speak. The message does not disappear when the symptom is suppressed. It migrates. It deepens. It eventually produces something louder than what you managed to quiet. The body has never lied to you. The only question is whether you have been listening. Today, starting in this moment, you begin to listen. What the body needs from you is not complex. It is not technically sophisticated. It does not require equipment or expertise or the mediation of any external authority between you and the most intimate relationship available to a human being, the relationship with your own physical self. It requires presence, honesty, and a quality of compassionate attention that you have almost certainly been extending to everyone around you for years while withholding it. System. Back, actively and often unconsciously, from the body you actually live in. The practice is called conscious body dialogue, and it is exactly what it sounds like. You place your hand with genuine tenderness, not the mechanical gesture of someone going through a technique directly over the area of your body that is speaking to you through pain or tension or dysfunction. You close your eyes, and you speak to it, not in your mind, with your voice, with the actual, audible, physically vibrating sound of words that your nervous system can receive not just conceptually but sensorially. You say and mean from the deepest available place of genuine feeling rather than performance, something like this. I see you. I am here. I am sorry I have been ignoring you for so long. I am sorry I treated you as a problem rather than as a part of myself that has been trying to help me. I am listening now. Tell me what you have been carrying on my behalf. Back. And then this is the part that requires the most courage. You actually listen. You stay with the silence that follows. You allow whatever arises, the image, the emotion, the memory, the specific felt sense of something that has been held there to surface without immediately analyzing it, explaining it, or deciding whether it is legitimate. Your body speaks in the language of sensation and feeling rather than the language of logic. Meet it there. Ask the pain directly. If you were a feeling I have been avoiding, what would you be? If you were carrying an emotion on my behalf, what would that emotion be? What do you need me to finally acknowledge so you can begin to release it? The answers that arise will not always be comfortable. They are frequently the precise emotions, the anger, the grief, the fear, the specific unspoken truth that the body took on because the conscious self could not hold them at the time. Receive them, name them, and make the body a promise that you will hold them now, that it no longer needs to store what you are finally willing to consciously carry. Here is the specific body-to-emotion mapping that consistent observation has revealed. Your lower B, back. AK speaks the language of unsupported burdens, the weight of believing you must manage everything without genuine help. Your chest and heart area carries the ungrieved losses, the loves that ended, the connections that broke, the specific grief of someone who learned not to show how much things hurt. Your stomach and digestive system processes what you cannot accept, the situations, the truths, the realities that your conscious mind agreed to tolerate while your body registered the full cost of the tolerance. Your shoulders carry responsibility, specifically the responsibility you took on for things that were never yours to carry. Your jaw carries the words you swallowed. Your throat carries the voice you silenced. None of this is permanent. The body that stored the emotion can release it. It has been waiting for exactly this, for you to finally, genuinely arrive. There is one dimension of body healing that most approaches address incompletely, and that produces, when genuinely engaged, rather than intellectually processed, the most profound and most lasting physiological shift available. Forgiveness. Not as a concept you adopt, as a specific, practiced, daily, physically in, back, gauged release of the emotional weight the body has been carrying on behalf of unresolved resentment. Resentment is not simply an emotion. In the body, it is a sustained physiological state, a low-level, continuous activation of the stress response that requires ongoing metabolic resources to maintain. Holding resentment costs the body something real and measurable every day it is held, not as punishment, as the simple neutral consequence of a system that cannot distinguish between a present threat and a remembered wound. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to the person who hurt you. It is the specific, practical, physiologically real act of removing from your own body the burden of carrying their transgression. It is not saying what they did was acceptable. It is saying you are no longer willing to pay the physical cost of being the one who carries it. Place your hand over your heart and bring to mind the person or the version of yourself toward whom you carry unresolved resentment. Speak these words with whatever genuine intention you can access, understanding that the feeling does not need to be complete for the practice to begin working. The feeling deepens with repetition. I, back, release you from the hold you have on my body. What happened between us belongs to the past. I choose to remove this weight from my cells. I am not doing this for you. I am doing this for the body that has been carrying what happened long after it was over. The NAND. This is the practice most people resist. Most completely turn this same forgiveness toward yourself. The self-criticism that your body has been absorbing for years. The specific, merciless interior voice that has been commenting on your worth, your appearance, your failures, your inadequacy, that voice that your body has heard as clearly as it has heard anything, and that has produced in your cells exactly the physiological environment that chronic criticism produces. Stand before a mirror, look directly into your own eyes, speak your name, and say genuinely, slowly, feeling the resistance and speaking anyway, I completely love and accept you exactly as you are. Most people cannot complete this sentence on the first attempt without their voice breaking or their eyes dropping from their own reflection. That breaking is information. It is the specific physical evidence of how long the criticism has been running back. ND, how rarely the genuine thing it was denying has been offered. Offer it now, repeatedly, daily, until the mirror no longer produces the resistance, because the resistance has been metabolized into something that the body can finally recognize as true. The inner child healing completes the practice. Find a photograph of yourself as a young child. Hold it. Look at the specific, searching eyes of that small person who did not yet know what was coming, who did not yet have the defenses or the coping strategies or the sophisticated management systems that the adult version developed to survive what that child encountered. Speak to them directly, not as a metaphor. As the living communication it actually is from the adult who has the capacity to provide what was not provided then, to the part of you that is still carrying what could not be processed at the time. I see you. I am sorry you had to be so strong before you were ready. I am sorry no one protected you the way you deserved. I am here now. I am not leaving. And the things you had to carry alone, you do not have to carry them alone anymore. This practice does not belong in the category of pleasant self-care. It belongs in tea, back, the category of genuine medicine. Your body will recognize the difference. Here is where the understanding becomes the practice, and where the practice becomes the healing that the understanding alone was never able to produce. A daily practice of 20 minutes done with genuine devotion rather than mechanical compliance contains every element described in this script in a unified, sequenced form that builds on itself and produces the kind of cumulative, compounding, neurologically real change that single sessions cannot. Begin with 3 minutes of genuine gratitude directed toward your body. Not performed gratitude. The real kind, the slow, honest arrival at the specific recognition of what your body has been doing continuously, without being asked, without acknowledgement, often while you criticized it. Your heart has been beating. Your lungs have been breathing. Your immune system has been working. Your cells have been regenerating. Begin there. Feel it. The specific warmth of genuine appreciation directed toward the body that has never, not once, given up on you even when you gave up on it. Follow with 5 minutes of direct body dialogue. Hand on the area that needs attention. Back. T on. Voice engaged. Honest. Present. Non-performative conversation with the specific part of yourself that has been speaking through sensation and waiting for you to hear it. Then 5 minutes at the mirror. Your own eyes. Your intention statement spoken in present tense, not I will heal, but I am healing. Right now, in this moment. My body knows how to restore itself. Every cell is moving toward wholeness. The present tense matters. The unconscious responds to certainty rather than intention. 5 minutes of active forgiveness working through whatever resentments, toward others and toward yourself, that arose during the earlier parts of the practice. Hand on heart. Voice engaged. Words spoken with whatever genuine feeling is available and with the trust that the feeling deepens through repetition rather than requiring completion before it begins. Final 2 minutes of visualization yourself whole, vital, genuinely alive in the full version of the life you're healing is building toward. Not a fantasy. A genuine sensory, emotionally inhabited preview of what becomes available when the body is no longer carrying what it was never meant to carry permanently. Close with these words. Back, spoken with quiet certainty. My healing is already in motion. I trust my body's wisdom. I surrender to the process. Here is your specific challenge, starting tonight. Before you sleep, place your right hand over your heart. Feel the rhythm beneath your palm, that steady, faithful, entirely loyal beating that has never once stopped for you. And say out loud, with whatever voice you have, thank you for never giving up on me. I am here now. I am listening, and I am not going anywhere. Your body has been waiting for that moment for longer than you know. It does not require perfection. It does not require you to feel the words fully before you speak them. It requires only that you show up present, honest, genuinely attempting the contact that has been missing. Here is the final truth that everything in this script has been building toward. Your body is not your enemy. It is not a machine that has been malfunctioning. It is not a problem to be solved, or a liability to be managed, or a source of evidence about your inadequacy. It is your most faithful companion, the one that has been absorbing your pain without complaint, carrying your unexpressed emotions with extraordinary patience, back, NCE, and communicating with you continuously in the only language available to it. Every ache was a message. Every illness was an invitation. Every symptom that medicine could not fully explain was your body speaking in its most direct and most personal language about what needed to finally be seen, felt, named, and released. You have been at war with your body for long enough. Today is the day that ends. Not because the healing will be immediate or complete or free of the difficult layers that genuine healing always requires moving through. Because today is the day you decide that your body deserves the same compassion you have been spending your entire life offering to everyone else. Place your hand over your heart, feel that beat, and come home to it. It has been waiting for you with extraordinary patience all along.